both of you. And what I mean by that is this. Is it a matter of them losing it, or is it a matter of arrogance? Yo, we ain't worried about nothing because we know the playoffs is a new season. And when we get there, we know what we can do. We know what we're going to do because we've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. Is it about performance in terms of ability, or is it arrogance usurping their ability, and that's why we're talking about them the way that we're talking about them?
Let's get this straight. The entire sports world was buzzing after Stephen A. dropped that bomb on First Take. He looked dead into the camera and asked what every rival fan has secretly hoped was true. Have the Kansas City Chiefs become too arrogant to win again? That's right. After years of dominance, after 5 Super Bowl appearances in 6 years, the dynasty that has ruled the AFC like an empire is suddenly under the microscope. But here's the thing. If you've watched this team, really watched them, you know the story is far deeper than a soundbite. You can call it complacency, fatigue, arrogance, whatever you want. But what I see is a group that's been to war every January for half a decade straight. That kind of grind leaves marks. You play 2 extra months of football every year, and suddenly you're carrying the weight of every expectation, every headline, every target on your back. Still, Chiefs fans, you and I know this. This team has never backed down from noise. Now, let's talk about where this firestorm started. Monday night against Jacksonville, primetime lights. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars look sharp, hungry, desperate to make a statement. And on one play, one ugly, glaring play, Chris Jones, the heart of our defense, seemed to stop. He didn't chase, he didn't close, he watched Trevor Lawrence run into the end zone. The clip spread like wildfire. Analysts pounced. Jeff Saturday said it was absolutely unacceptable. Others said it was a sign of a deeper issue. Maybe the Chiefs had lost that raw hunger. And suddenly, it wasn't about one play anymore. It was about the culture. It was about leadership. Then came Jones's post-game quote, "We've got to finish that play. It was a fluke. I put it on us as a defense." No excuses. He owned it. But ownership doesn't erase perception. In the NFL, optics matter, and that play fed the narrative that maybe, just maybe, Kansas City's leaders were coasting on reputation instead of dominance. From there, the discussion got heated. Some called it complacency. Others, like Stephen A., pushed it further. Is it arrogance, he asked. Was this team so sure of its greatness that urgency had faded? Did the Chiefs honestly believe they could flip the switch whenever they wanted, like champions on autopilot? And honestly, it's a fair question, but not the right conclusion. Because if you know Andy Reid's locker room, you know there's no arrogance in there. There's accountability, there's pride, there's fatigue, yes, but that's the tax of greatness. Let's be real, this team has been tested more than any franchise in the last decade. Every opponent builds their game plan around stopping Patrick Mahomes. Every analyst waits for a moment of weakness to scream, "The dynasty is over." But what happens every time? Kansas City adjusts. They evolve. They reload. This isn't about arrogance. It's about expectation fatigue. When your standard is perfection, every human mistake looks like failure. But even through sloppy starts, dropped passes from Kelce, a bad kick from Butker, when Mahomes forcing a throw, the heart of this team hasn't changed. They're not broken. They're simply bored of normal. Look, Andy Reid has built a culture that thrives under pressure. The Chiefs are like a boxer who doesn't feel alive until he's been punched in the mouth. You think a couple of early season struggles are going to break a team that's thrived on adversity for years? Absolutely not. Stephen A. said it best. When you've been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, you might lose urgency. But here's the twist. Losing urgency in October doesn't mean losing destiny in February. The Chiefs have started slow before. 3-4 records, mid-season slumps, and still found their way back to the AFC Championship game like clockwork. And when that playoff switch flips, there's no team in football that can match their focus. Let's be honest. The Chiefs don't need to prove they can win. They need to remember why they win. Every dynasty hits that wall where greatness feels routine, where excellence feels like expectation. But that's when legends remind the world why they're different. This noise, These critics, they're the spark. You think Patrick Mahomes isn't listening? You think Chris Jones doesn't feel that heat? You think Travis Kelce, after that drop and the memes and the backlash, isn't ready to silence every doubt in the next primetime game? This is how Kansas City operates. When the world starts talking, the Chiefs start answering. On the field, in statement games, in playoff moments that leave everyone else speechless. So yes, call it complacency, call it arrogance, call it whatever you want, but I'll call it what it's always been: motivation disguised as criticism. This team will take every headline, every soundbite, every "the dynasty is done" clip and turn it into fuel. Because when the lights are brightest, when the games matter most, the Chiefs don't crumble, they rise. Mark my words, this conversation, this national debate about arrogance and effort, it's the exact kind of fire that ignites Kansas City again. And when February rolls around, and this team is back where they belong, holding the AFC trophy high, everyone will remember this week as the spark that awakened the giant. So I'll end it like this. You can question the Chiefs' urgency, but don't ever question their heart. Now, Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you. Is this criticism fair, or is it pure overreaction? Do you think this moment lights the fire for another Super Bowl run? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you still believe, and subscribe, because this is Chiefs Kingdom Report, and the fight has only just begun.